If you bought a home in 2022, there is a good chance that it might be worth $100,000 less than you paid for it. And if you've owned your home for more than 5 years, the county might be about to take away one of your biggest tax breaks, unless you respond to a letter that probably is sitting in your mailbox. I'm Shannon Green, a realtor here in Austin, and I work with a lot of people that live here and also relocate to live here in Austin. And right now, there are 5 things that could directly impact your wallet, your commute, or your home value, whether you realize it or not. And we are going to start with that tax letter because if you ignore it, it could cost you thousands of dollars a year. And then I'll show you what's really happening with home prices and why it might mean something very different for you than it does your neighbor next door. And then I'll show you which areas of Austin to think twice about if your commute matters to you. And before we get into it, if you're thinking about relocating to Austin, or if you're just trying to make sense of all of this, I've put together a free relocation guide. You're welcome to grab it. It's linked below. It tells you a little bit about schools, about the city in general, neighborhoods, cost of living, something to get you started to understand the area. Now let's start with the one thing that actually has a deadline attached to it. The Travis County Appraisal District is in the middle of a mandatory audit of homestead exemptions, required by state law every 5 years. And right now they're specifically targeting homeowners who first claimed their exemption between 2010 and 2019. Now here's what's actually at stake. The average Travis County homeowner typically saves around $3,600 a year because of their homestead exemption. If the appraisal district sends you a verification letter and you don't respond, that exemption could be removed, which means your tax bill will jump up thousands of dollars. And that will start on the very next cycle. This isn't a maybe, this is already happening to people right now. So if a letter from TCAD shows up, don't set it aside and don't pay anyone else to handle it for you. Verifying your exemption is completely free, and the Travis County Appraisal District has a helpline in case you get stuck trying to figure out how to do the paperwork. Now, there's also some good news on this front. There is a proposal that could raise the statewide school district exemption from $100,000 up to $140,000, or $200,000 if you're over 65 or have a qualifying disability. If that passes, your tax value drops, and so does your bill. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on because it could work in your favor. Second thing, and this is one that I get asked about every single week, Austin home prices have dropped a lot. We hit our peak back in May of 2022. The median sold price was around $550,000. As of May of 2026, that number is hitting around $440,000. That's roughly a 20% drop from the peak. Now, here's where it gets interesting because the numbers mean 2 completely things depending on which side of the transaction that you're on. If you bought at the peak in 2022, that stings. Your equity definitely took a hit on paper. But if you're someone who got priced out of the bidding wars in Austin during that time, this is one of the best times to buy since the pandemic for buyers right now because they have opportunity. Now, here's the proof. Inventory is up about 5.5 months across the metro, and homes can take 50 to 85 days to sell instead of selling over the weekend. Sellers are competing for buyers right now. This is a complete reversal from 3 years ago. Back then, buyers were waiving inspections and paying $50,000, $60,000 or more over the asking, sight unseen. People were actually doing that, and honestly, most people in the industry knew that it couldn't last. Now, I will say, because Austin is so neighborhood specific, there are neighborhoods that are sellers markets right now. Like in Circle C, for instance, if you have a fixed up home in pristine condition in the neighborhood that everybody wants, it's probably gonna sell in very few days. So there are pockets throughout Austin that behave this way, but overall, we are still in a buyer's market. Now, if you're selling right now, this is the part that matters. Your pricing has to match today's market, not your neighbor's 2022 sales price. Homes that are priced accurately are selling in 4 to 5 weeks. Homes priced like it's still 2022 are going to sit for months. And then the seller ends up cutting the price down over time and ends up losing the momentum they could have had. Okay, we're halfway through, and if your commute matters to you at all, this next one might actually change what part of Austin you could be looking at. The I-35 Capital Express project is a massive expansion of the interstate, and it's running right through the heart of Austin. Some pieces of this are going to wrap up through 2026, but other parts are going to go all the way into the 2030s. If you've driven downtown lately, you've already seen construction zones, and this is going to be daily life for the next years. Now, here's the decision this actually creates. If you're buying a home that you're going to be in for 10 plus years, the construction is temporary. And the long-term goal of this project is to connect East Austin to West Austin, which kind of have felt like two separate cities because of the way the highway cuts everything through it. So long-term, this is a win. But if your day-to-day commute is priority right now, which it is for a lot of my clients that have that hybrid type schedule, this is exactly why you might be considering areas more on the Mopac side of town so you don't have to deal with that I-35 side. Those areas let you step aside from all of the construction and the chaos, and that's a real quality of life difference, not just a commute time difference. Okay, number 4 change is that the Austin Convention Center is gone. It closed in April of 2025, was fully demolished by the end of the year, and a brand new one is under construction in its place as part of a project called Unconventional ATX. The target completion for this is early 2029. You probably already felt the ripple effect of this if you were anywhere near the South by Southwest stuff going on this year. South by Southwest was actually 2 days shorter and had a completely different layout because the festival lost its usual home base. If you love South by Southwest or are considering having a short-term rental downtown, one that depends on the convention center and festival traffic, this is a multi-year disruption to a short-term rental investment. But it's also a preview of what's to come. And all of this actually fits a bigger pattern. 8 major projects finished their completion in 2025 alone. All of those projects added nearly 4 million square feet to the downtown skyline, including the Water Line, which is now the tallest building in Texas down in the Rainy Street district area. But here's the twist. No new towers are being built in 2026. The market is literally pausing to absorb all the new space that's been built. So if you're watching the skyline, 2026 is going to be more of a watch and wait year before that next wave of projects starts. Last one, and this one is huge if you're relocating for work, or if you're thinking about investing in the northeast corridor of Austin toward that Taylor area. Samsung's semiconductor operations, existing fabs in northeast Austin, plus a massive facility built in Taylor, pumped $10.9 billion into the Texas economy in 2025 alone. That's not a typo, $10.9 billion. That supported almost 29,000 jobs and over $2 billion in wages. The Taylor facility is predicting full operation by the end of 2026, and it will be producing some of the most advanced computer chips made anywhere in the country. Now, here's why this should be on your radar. If you're relocating for a tech job or your company touches the semiconductor supply chain at all, that Austin to Taylor corridor is where you want to be paying attention to. I've already had clients ask me about commute times from Pflugerville, Hutto, Taylor, back to Austin, because there's so many jobs tied to this expansion. And Samsung isn't treating this as temporary. They're investing in workforce programs with UT, Austin Community College, and Texas A&M, with over $37 billion in planned regional investment. That is a company planting roots, not testing the water. Now, here's something I don't think people talk about enough. I've lived in Austin since 1994 and I've watched this city change and grow. And what I have seen is that people who stop reacting to the headlines are doing the best. They're asking the questions, what does this mean for me, for my situation, and my timeline? A 20% reduction sounds scary in a headline. But for the right buyer, it might be the opportunity they've been waiting for to buy the perfect home. Context is everything. So that is the 5 things happening in Austin right now: the property tax exemption audit, the real story over the price correction, the I-35 expansion, the new convention center, and the Samsung Austin to Taylor corridor. If you are watching from outside of Austin and need a great agent in your area, I am connected to several agents across the country. Reach out to me and I can help you find the right one. If this was helpful, click subscribe and make sure you watch the next one. And drop a comment to let me know which of these 5 changes affects you the most. I read all of my comments and I respond. If you are looking to buy or sell in the Austin area, please reach out to me and let's do a one-on-one call to find out how I can actually find the home of your dreams or sell the home so that you can get into the right situation. I'm Shannon Green, Austin, Texas Realtor, and I will see you on the next one. If you bought a home in 2022, there is a good chance that it might be worth $100,000 less than you paid for it. And if you've owned your home for more than 5 years, the county might be about to take away one of your biggest tax breaks.